Spoke G on the beat.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello. Try to do something a little different. Just switch it up a little bit. Gotta get a little faster on the switches when it's over. But welcome, everybody. If you're new to the channel, I'm LJ Young, your host, the founder of SMD. And I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is where slaves live, right? Slaves that can't see negative numbers, right? They don't trust the calculator, so they can't see negative numbers, right? And what I mean by that is this, open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and then hit equal. All right. Imagine us both looking at your calculator and we both see a large negative number, but you still believe you're a homeowner, right? If I looked at you and say we were both looking at the calculator and I'd look at you and say, do you still believe you're a homeowner? And you look at me and say, yes. And then that explains my gift. I have the ability to see negative numbers and unconscious slaves cannot. Basically, it's a fancy way of saying that I believe the calculator and you don't. That's what it really is. It's really more simple than that. But I think it sounds like nice saying you know, the ability to see negative numbers. Anyway, that was me. All right. Until the age 40 inside the debt matrix. And then I woke up, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically said, take math that we all learned in, take the arithmetic we all learned in elementary school, apply it to your finances using these baby steps, and then you'll just get out of debt and then you'll be winning with money. I said, okay, Dave, that's what I did. And wow, it was just math. Yep, that's it. So I said, since it was just math, that really has nothing to do with religion. 1 + 1 = 2, no matter what religion. I said, nope. So I stripped that out. And even his baby step four, it says, you get down to your mortgage, start putting 15% away in retirement, right? But according to the calculator, you put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. If we both look at the calculator again, it says you have no money to put 15% of anywhere, nowhere. Only slaves believe they can put away negative dollars into retirement. Okay, that's that only unconscious slaves believe that. Why? Again, they cannot see negative numbers. SMD gives you the ability to see negative numbers, right? So that was me. I didn't know this until after the fact. I'm just now really even telling you guys my gift, because this is truly a gift. All right. I want you guys to clearly understand that there is no mistaking. This is a gift. But unlike other gifts that other people have, right? I can prove mine with mathematics and a calculator, right? That's the difference. I can prove I have the ability to see negative numbers. I can prove it. Okay. All right. Anyway, so this is what I do. This is how SMD was founded. I'm LJ. SMD is a family. We all understand this. That is I mean, me saying that is really something I'm just now really coming to factual with, that the gift is the ability to see negative numbers. That's the gift, right? And what comes with that gift is the ability also to see the obvious in anything financial. Now I have the ability to see the obvious in everything, anything to do with finances, anything. Right now, this is what I mean when I say this is a gift. So, for example, you wait to a person like Warren Buffett or Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. They hear what my gift is. They will be reaching out to me once they hear what my gift is. They'll be reaching out to me. Now, even when I say that, unconscious slaves, you have no idea what I'm talking about. The language that I'm speaking, you have never heard of it in your life, and you'll never believe it. So it doesn't even matter what I'm saying. That's what's so wonderful about the gift. I can say it out in the open, and you still don't know what I'm talking about. It's like when you could now, when you're out of debt, you could see the obvious, like, right? Like unconscious slaves, you guys don't know money doesn't exist for you guys in any form at all, right? You guys don't know that though, right? So when I got out of the debt matrix, right, I said, okay, well, shoot, if I don't have any money, then what is the true purpose of 401ks, retirement plans, and HSA accounts? And then now that I have the ability to see negative numbers, I go, okay, the 401k, and then you tie that to the stock market. Oh, okay, but okay, what about the match? They have no money to match anything. Oh, that baits them to put money in there, because that means they're not putting in enough. So you give them something that they look like they're getting for free, and then I get it now. I totally get it. It's just business though. It's nothing personal. Excuse me. I mean, when I kind of laugh about it because I was in that. I was in that. I really thought I was putting away money for retirement with negative dollars. That's what I thought. It's actually funny, man. It's actually pretty funny. And sometimes it'll get me angry sometimes when, just all the stuff I thought I had and owned. And then I think about everybody that it was just like me back then. Everybody pretending. It, it's just, it's just messed up, man. It That's what's so wonderful about this gift, right? The ability. It sounds like when I say that out loud, when I say, "Hey, I have the ability to see negative numbers," right? I think about myself when I was back in the debt matrix. Had I heard somebody say that to me, "Hey, what's up, man?" Somebody comes up to me and say, "Hey, man, I have a gift. What's your gift?" I have the ability to see negative numbers. I kind of imagine, well, how would I respond to that? I'd be like, "What? Are you crazy or something? What's wrong with you?" That is hilarious. But when you could just point it out and say, "Hey, oh, I'm crazy? Oh, okay. How much car loan debt is there? Trillions of dollars, right? Well, then why do you say I'm crazy? I don't get it." I still probably wouldn't have understood even if they said that. I still probably wouldn't have understood it. I would have been like, "What's so funny? Why are you laughing?" Also, I mean, I want you guys to understand when you be part of SMD or however you be part of by me, a consultation, a talk, whatever, it's totally up to you. By you being this part of your whole life is going to change totally because the obvious you see the obvious, and I'm just talking about financially, okay? Because everybody like in these relationship channels are so focused on what everybody got, right? But they have no idea how much debt that person's in. They have no clue. They're not going to show you how much debt they're in. What does a person being deep in debt even look like? Does there I mean, they could drive a Mercedes. It doesn't matter. But they're so focused on that. You guys are focused on the wrong thing. You got to focus on how much debt are they in. That's the key. You know how obvious that is now to me? That's totally obvious because when you're unconscious, you don't really understand that you speak a totally different language when it comes to finances. You don't even know what you're talking about. No matter how many times I say, "Hey, look at your calculator," open the calculator. People, then you hear unconscious slaves say the weirdest things. Oh man, that's you don't have the same calculator. It's just made up stuff. There's only one calculator. There's not multiple calculators. There might be multiple different brands and kinds, but the basics is the same. One plus one equals two in every single calculator on earth. They put basic arithmetic. That's like the base, right? You couldn't even make a calculator unless you put the basic arithmetic first. What if somebody hands you a calculator and like all the equations was on there, but 1 through 9 wasn't on there? You'd be like, What am I going to do with this?" Nothing. You can't do nothing without the basic arithmetic. If somebody would have said that to me back in the debt matrix, I would have. I still probably wouldn't have understood what they're talking about. I know most of you, that come to this channel and be like, "Oh my God, what is he talking about?" Let me tell you something, okay? It doesn't matter your opinion. If the calculator says I'm right and you're wrong. No matter what it says, whatever the calculator says, I agree with the calculator. I can actually show people my gift. I can show them on a calculator and they still don't believe it. That's what makes it a gift. It's like you could say it to a slave's face and they still don't get it. You could say it and prove it and show it to be 100% true, and they still don't believe it. That's what makes people obvious. Like those of you that are you guys pretend like you have money, but with your stuff, like you have a nice car and house and clothes every day. You look really good on social media and all that stuff. We can see through all that. Okay, that only fools unconscious slaves because we know stuff is nothing. That's just stuff. Whatever you decide to pay for that stuff, that's your problem. That's not who cares? We could see right through that. We could see that you're up to your eyeballs in debt just by the way you speak. When you try to talk fancy about investing and uh all this like you're really knowledgeable and then you'll fuck up and talk about a car payment or something like that or your phone on your phone plan is you're paying monthly payments on your phone. That's where you'll mess up when you're making cell phone payments. They do it all the time. Like these reality TV shows you guys watch on TV, they do it all the time. All these people look so rich, but they be mentioning mortgage payments. People with money don't have mortgage payments. Don't you guys understand that? That'd be going backwards. That would be going financially backwards to have a mortgage payment. Do you understand? That doesn't even make any sense. You're trying to grow wealth by going in debt? You can't do that. You can't do that. Know why you guys can't see that? Because you can't see negative numbers. That's why you can't see that. It'll it'll end 90. You guys don't really understand this. Stress is caused by debt, okay? If you're always stressed out about debt, remove the debt and you remove the stress. It's no longer there. Stress is actually your friend. Stress always knows exactly what it's pointing. This is what stress does, okay? And you don't really notice in the debt matrix because you think debt is part of life. Stress is pointing exactly to the thing that's causing this problem. It says what it's saying to you is saying this needs to be removed from our lives right here. It's pointing at it. That's why stress is there. It's pointing directly at what needs to be removed from your life. But yeah, people go, you guys in the debt matrix, what do you guys do? You go to the doctor, get medicine to say, hey, shut up, stress, shut up. It's like, why are you trying to shut me up? I'm just trying to tell you what needs to be removed from our lives, and you're ignoring me. That's what stress is. And debt is a huge, ginormous part of if debt is part of your huge part of your life, that's your cause of your stress right there. That's it. What are you gonna do about it? You gonna keep on pretending? The only people that you're fooling is other unconscious slaves like yourself. You're not fooling people like me, or you're not fooling people like me. I promise you, you're not. You guys don't even know. You guys couldn't even function without the bank's help. Do you know that? You guys couldn't even function. The only difference between you and the banks, they can see negative numbers. You can't. That's it. That's the only difference. They're not doing anything to you. They're not big, bad, evil people. That's all made up in the debt matrix. That's all you got to do is trust your calculator. Once you're out of debt, then you'll see how your job is really treating you. I promise you that. Get out of debt and keep working a job when you're completely out of debt. You're gonna look at your job totally different for you and be like, what? Wait a minute. Let me get you're gonna be like this. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. I get a 15-minute break, but the clock is about a 5-minute walk to the break room. But I also got to be back at the clock when it turns right at exact 15 minutes. You sure do. So do you really believe you get a 15-minute break? That doesn't sound like 15 minutes to me. You're gonna notice that kind of stuff. You're gonna be like, excuse me, boss, manager, this doesn't make sense right here, right here. They're gonna be like, what? The clock out time clock is here, but the break room is on the other side of the store. Yeah. So it's gonna take me a few minutes just to get to the break room to eat my lunch, scarf it down. I may have got 5 minutes to eat. Sure do. About 5 minutes to eat, 6 minutes max. All that changes. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, if I'm in debt and they're pulling out money for my retirement, wait a minute, I ain't got no money to put in retirement. Sure don't. No, you don't. And by the way, retirement's not an age, okay? It's retirement is whenever you want to retire, okay? It's not 65, 70, whatever number they make up what at whatever year, that's made up. Those are the obvious things that you'll see once you get out of debt. But if you come over here, you're gonna lose all your friends. You probably lose some family, but that's okay. It's gonna be hard to accept because they're not gonna hear you. They're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? That's not true. Credit's everything. You know we worship the credit gods," and they're gonna go on and on and on. Then you're gonna be like, "Wait a minute, but those are private businesses. What do you mean you need them? You don't need them. They're private businesses." Well, no, that's what I've heard. That's the only way to get a house and a car and a boat and a sea-doo and a three-wheeler and a motorcycle and everything that goes down in value. They just believe it. That's a business. You guys couldn't function without the no, do you know that's there's not a store if you want to grow, there's if you don't accept credit cards, you will go out of business. You know why? Because they have no money. You guys don't have no money. You guys are slaves. You have no money. You guys couldn't function without credit cards. You think I saw that? No, I didn't see any of that. No, sir. No, sir. I didn't see none of that. It's funny, I laugh about it to myself. I crack myself up sometimes when I think about some of the stuff that they just did to me. No, I did to myself. Let me stop saying the banks did anything to me. They didn't do nothing to me. I did it to myself. I promise you this though. If you like 18, man, you fresh out. You guys will pick it up faster because you're not that far out of grade school. Okay, you still remember one plus one. You still remember the math and money games. The left side of zero is negative. The right side of zero is positive. You guys still remember that. Your parents they probably forgot about that years ago. You guys understand this? You'll never have to worry about being late on rent and how you gonna get the money for the lights and how you gonna get some shoes. You will never have to worry about any of that. None of that. The majority of people you hear talk like that, they did it to themselves with what? Car payments, student loan payments, credit card payments, furniture payments, rent a center payments, payments after payments after payments. Out there thinking they out there believe if they make more money, it'll get them out of debt. No, you make more money, you're going higher up in your tax bracket. What are you talking about? That's gonna get them out of debt. You know what they go do? They go buy more shit. Don't be them. If you don't be them right now, you'll thank me for the rest of your life. And I guarantee you this: if you that young right now, you listen to me, you will never hear this on any other channel on the internet. This will be the only channel that you will hear somebody say, "I have a gift." What's your gift? The ability to see negative numbers. That's my ability. They will be reaching out to me. You understand this at a young age? Nothing will stop you. You'll be able to do anything you want, anything, whatever you desire. All you have to do is ignore the unconscious slaves. You see when I'm on panels, they call me arrogant and they think I'm acting. I'm not acting. I truly don't care what they think. That's why it looks like that to them because I'm not doing anything on purpose. I just don't pay attention to them because they don't even know what they're saying. Nothing makes mathematical sense that come out of their mouth. They steady talking, thinking they can get around math somehow. It's like irritating. You just want to stop them and say, "Hey, man, just stop trying to go around math because you can't do it. It's impossible." I'm here more for the people that are wandering around the debt matrix that can hear just take their feelings out of it and just listen to what I'm saying. Take your feelings out of it and say what even though I don't like what he's saying, is his math right? Yeah, then you got to ask yourself, if his math is right, why am I mad? That's the question you need to answer right there. If his math is right, which it is, it always is, why are you upset? That's what you got to figure out. Once you answer that question, you're going to free yourself. You're gonna free yourself. Once you're out, you'll be able to see all the people that are just taking advantage legally taking advantage of slaves legally. You don't have to cheat and when you understand how it works, you don't have to cheat and scam. You you don't have to steal from people. You don't have to scam them. You don't have to cheat the IRS. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to do any of that. They don't know no currency on earth exists for them. They don't know that. They believe gold is because it's shiny, I guess. I don't know. They like it because it's shiny. Notice how silver looks a little duller and then copper looks the most dullest. I guess they put that connect in that brain. I guess if it's the shiniest, it must be the worth more than I guess. I don't know. That I just made that up. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the only thing I can think of when they line them up side by side. They always put gold first and everything is less. Okay, that means the shiniest one is the worth the most. I guess whatever. Your social security number is your participation number. Hey, you want to play here? Yeah, here. You're issued a social security number. This is what you need to play in the economy here. You're going to need this. And by the way, don't fuck with it. That's what they really want. If they could say that, that's what they say. You do that, you're going to go to prison. Nobody ever say, damn, why is that so severe? Because it's a very important piece. Same goes with taxes and the IRS. That's the exact same thing. The reason, and if you're a cheater, you know why you're cheating? Because you don't understand the rules. That's why you're cheating. That's what happens. Just no different than sports games, just cheating. They're cheating because maybe they don't like the rules or they don't know them. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Get out of debt and follow the rules, and you'll understand it all. That's it's so obvious. It is. It really is obvious. It's two things, right? It's obvious that people it's obvious that people don't cannot see negative numbers. That is clearly obvious. Clearly. And you're probably thinking, how do you know that? I don't know. Google it. See how much student loan debt there is. 1.72 trillion dollars. That's obvious that people can't see negative numbers. Let's go to another one. How much in credit card debt? Trillions? Oh, that's obvious. They can't see negative numbers. Obvious. Okay, let's go to mortgage debt. Holy moly. Trillions. Yep, that's true. Yeah, that sounds pretty clear to me. Wait a minute. But all those people, all those millions of people think they're homeowners? They sure do. Even though the calculator is saying they're not. Yep, that's right. Any other questions? Nope, no other questions. Okay, got it. Now you understand why taxes are here? Sure do. Understood. Check. And I'm gonna tell you how to pick if you're a business owner and you got a professional tax preparer. This is what I need you to find out. You need to find out if your tax preparer is in debt. That's ASAP. You need to find out quick, fast. A number one, quick, fast. You need to go up to them and say something like, "Hey, man, you still pay you got student loans?" And if they say yes, and you see that they graduated 20 years ago, and that means their student debt's older than their business, that's a problem. They obviously haven't balanced their own books. You got to explain that. Why is your student loan debt older than your business? You got to explain that. Put that on paper. I got to see that. There is no explanation for that. Fired. Same go with a professional accountant. If you find out your accountant's in debt, they haven't even balanced their own books. Wait a minute. You went to college for math, right? Yeah. You learn from a professor how to balance books, right? Yeah. Then why you have 20-year-old student loans? Why is that? Explain that. You claim to be so successful and making all this money. Why do you have 20-year-old student loans? Explain that. Now, there's only one answer. The only answer they can give you on it, the tax person or the accountant person. Hey, I don't effing know. I'll accept that answer right there. I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. I will accept that answer. But if they try to give you some kind of excuse, you pack your stuff and say, I'm taking my business elsewhere. You need to find a professional, debt-free tax person. Your whole life will change. They know something that the tax preparer that been in debt all their life, they know something that that tax preparer doesn't. That goes the same for accounting, everything, anything to do with your money. Say like, say like you have a let's go like this. Say like you have a financial advisor somewhere, okay? And you need some financial advice about investing, okay? And say like you have $50,000 in student loan debt, but you have $10,000 cash in your bank account, and you're thinking about investing, okay? And then you, before you leave, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. I want you to open up your calculator, and you guys can enter the numbers, whatever you wish, because most of you guys in debt anyway. It doesn't matter. You open up the calculator and say like this: is you put in 10,000 minus 50,000. That's negative 40,000. That's how much money you actually in real life have to invest in real life. And then you go into your financial advisor's office and you tell them the exact same thing. Hey, I got 10,000, I want to invest in bloggity, blah, blah, blah. But I have $50,000 in student loan debt. There's only one answer, negative 40,000. Let's see if your financial advisor gives you the real answer or the unconscious slave answer is saying that you can invest while having student loan debt. You can't do that. That's impossible. And then if you have a financial advisor says, "Oh yeah, man, go ahead and invest in this and that and blah blah blah." Well, after they're done with the spiel, you go, "Hey, but isn't 10,000 minus 50,000 negative 40,000?" Yeah, I according to math, it says I have no money to invest. See what they say. Or you ask some of your friends, "Hey, can I buy a house with student loan debt?" They'll probably say, "Oh, you sure can. I did. I can show you how to do it." Those are slaves giving you slave information because you can't buy a house with student loan debt. That's impossible. That's impossible. So anybody you know that has student loan debt and they have a house, they don't own the house. The house owns them. You can't buy a house with that while having student loan debt. That's the obvious stuff you can see when you can see negative numbers. That's obvious. You know what else is obvious? It's obvious that one day you're going to die. Isn't that obvious? That's obvious to me. It has been all my life. I knew one day I was going to die. That's obvious. That by default, that means time is the most valuable thing on earth, not money. It's time. Duh. Get so wrapped up in the debt matrix, you totally forget that one day you're going to be dead. That's guaranteed. Nobody lives forever. So you know you're going to be dead. You get all wrapped up in the debt matrix, you totally forget. Wrapped up in wrong debt, marrying other debt slaves, and people don't own themselves and getting wrapped up all that unnecessary stuff. Because once you get out of debt, that won't happen to you because you'll never date a slave ever. You won't date somebody that doesn't own themselves. You won't date somebody that think car payments are normal. Thinks everybody has a mortgage. You won't take anybody serious like that. They don't know. They can't see negative numbers. You're not gonna seriously tie yourself to a person that can't see negative numbers. That's a waste of time. It's obvious to look at somebody's personal credit report first. If you're thinking about getting serious with somebody, one of the first thing is to obviously to see trade, let each other see each other's personal credit report because it doesn't lie. Anybody can tell you anything when you get into a relationship with them. Oh, why their credit scores are just indicators. Okay, they just kind of tell you something about their credit report. You know, a good credit score says this person pays their debts on time. A bad credit score usually means somebody doesn't. That's it. That's all it does by looking at it. What's going to tell you the correct information is inside the credit reports, all three, all the details. It tells you everything you need to know about that person. Especially say like this. Say like you just can't tell, you know, you're dating somebody and you just can't really tell if they're good or bad, you know, because everybody's on their best behavior in the beginning, right? If you really want to know, you say, hey, I tell you, you know what I do? I said, I take a look at people's personal credit reports that I'm thinking about getting serious with. I'll let you see mine if you let me see yours. That'll answer all your questions. If you say nothing moves forward until that happens, they're either going to stay or they're going to either going to show it to you or they're going to leave or they're going to have to go. You're going to say it's going to be over. You're going to say you're going to show me this and I'm going to show you mine before we go any further. If they say no, that's it. The relationships, the whatever what was starting is over. That will be over. That's one of the obvious things. That's just obvious. But when you can't see negative numbers, you don't know to look for that. You just see stuff. You see cars, you see houses, you see jewelry, you see where they work, what kind of career they have, whatever, whatever. That don't when you step outside the debt matrix, that don't mean anything. When you can see negative numbers, none of that stuff means anything. Who cares if they decide to pay for overpriced stuff with a credit card? Who cares if they do that? So that's not that doesn't impress me or people like me. When you guys walk around and talk about equity, you're like, hey, the equity in my house, the equity in my house. The person that knows, they're going to ask you, do you have a mortgage? If you say yes, they will know you're an unconscious slave because you don't own the equity in the house you didn't even have the money to buy. You don't know that. That's obvious. See that we could say that stuff and you have no idea that why we're asking, oh, you got student loans? Yeah. Now I automatically know you have student loans older than your house. So I know by asking that one question, now I know why you're making mortgage payments. I guarantee you're making phone payments. I guarantee you're making car payments. I guarantee you're making payments on that brand new refrigerator with the TV screen in it in the kitchen. I know you're making payments on the candy colored washer and dryer in the new house. I know you're making payments on all of it because you can't buy anything if you have if your student loan debt is your oldest debt, you can't buy anything in cash because you have no cash because you haven't paid your student loans. Some people got student loans almost the price of a house and they still believe they're homeowners. The value of their student loans are just about the value of the house and they still believe they're homeowners. That's clearly, listen, when I say stuff like that out loud, clearly they cannot see negative numbers. That is crystal clear to me. How are you going to get wealthy by financing things that go down in value? That makes absolutely no sense. That's obvious. But that's also obvious that you guys could not survive without credit cards. You couldn't make it. You would not make it. So that's what they take advantage of. They take advantage of that you guys can't see negative numbers. They're taking advantage of that. So scammers too. See, but this is the difference between having this knowledge, being able to see negative numbers. Scammers can't fool people like me because usually a scammer is just one level above a slave. They still can't see negative numbers because this is how you know that they can't see negative numbers. Usually people that cannot see negative numbers would risk the time in their life going to prison for a financial scam, risk the time in their life for worthless pieces of paper. They're not hiding anything from you. Just go to the central bank's website and look and say how much they make $100 for. They make it for 14 cents. So only a person that can't see negative numbers would risk going to prison for, because they're doing it for money. They're not scamming just to be being funny. They're scamming to get money. If they're doing that and they're risking the time in their life for it, that also means they can't see negative numbers, because that's the biggest negative of all. Taking away time, negative time out of your life, that's the biggest one. You can't even get that back. At least if they take you negative money, you can make more. You can go out there and make more money and catch up. But time, you can't catch that up. There's no way to do that. So scammers are easy to see because they don't know, they can't see negative numbers. They have no, scammers don't even know what I'm talking. Financial scammers, the best ones. The ones that you think are sophisticated and all this other stuff. No, they just can't see negative numbers because they're risking that for paper. I'm not going to risk the time of my life for paper. And that's how scammers usually get you, unconscious slave. They just show you guys shiny things. That's it. Shiny things. Maybe a popular person. Because I noticed, like, I'm noticing a lot of like stars on the beginning of like credit fixer businesses, right? And you'll see a star on the front of it. Why do you think that is? To get you to pay attention to the same thing they're selling everybody else. None of that stuff makes any mathematical sense. None. Zero. But you don't know that because you can't see negative numbers. I totally get it. And let me make sure I'm telling this right. That's business. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything illegal. I'm just telling you something. That's all. It's just business. But why, if you can't see negative numbers, you're on the wrong side of it all. Totally wrong side. Totally wrong side. What you needed to do is Google, like, which race believes in mathematics the most? That's what you need to type in Google. See what answer Google comes back with that. Which race trusts mathematics the most? I wonder if there's a list for that. That list will show you who has the money. You understand? Whoever trusts math the most has the money. Or who? No, excuse me, not trust math, because you guys don't even get that. Whatever race can see negative numbers the most has the money. Because even when I say something like math, you guys still don't get it. What do you mean math? I know math. You guys all say the same things. You don't know what to say when you can't see negative numbers, because it's something I can prove too. And Zal's is right. Let me make sure. Let me make sure this is understood though. I love the system, the financial system. Whoever designed it, bravo. You better believe that. Bravo. I will be following the rules. Bravo. Understood. Understood. We need slaves. This was so wonderful about this system. It's all a choice, man. It's all a choice. You get to choose which side of the financial system you want to be on. You get to choose. You choose the calculator or you don't. That's what it is. Either you choose the calculator or you just don't. And if you don't choose the calculator, you're going to be on the wrong side of the system until you're dead. That's what's going to happen. All the stuff you see on TV, big cars and houses and pools and vacations, that'll never be yours ever. That's why it's on TV. That's why they're selling it to you. They know what you guys want and they're selling it to you. You're the only one that can do it. That if you want that stuff, you have to do it. You think somebody gonna go out and buy it for you and make it easier? I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking, but that's not how it works. But we need slaves, man. Without you, the economy could not function. The housing market couldn't exist. The auto industry couldn't exist. Credit cards couldn't exist. Not without none of this could exist without you. Hey, man, thank you. You guys that come over my channel and say, "Oh, he's full of shit" and all this other stuff. He don't know what he's talking about. Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you, because I don't care what you say. Thank you. If you don't, you helping me and people like me. You're helping us. I don't want it to stop. Let me make sure I got this straight. I don't want it to stop just because it's like this. You're like, then wouldn't they be mad at you for saying this stuff? No, everybody's human. All of us die. You guys can't function by yourselves. You guys couldn't function by yourself. There need to be people helping running it properly on the other side. There is no way you guys can function without this in place. There's no way. You guys are running around. You don't even know you don't own yourself. If you don't even know that you don't own yourself, there is no way you could be left alone. All right, I'm gonna have to wrap this up in about 15 or so minutes. Yeah, about 15 minutes. No, make that about 10 minutes. What's up, Steven? It's the obvious. That's what's so it's like it's actually funny. Sometimes I'll think about myself back in the debt matrix and what I could see today. Sometimes I got laugh. It's like they don't hide anything. It's like the American dream. Okay, if you believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage, you're dreaming. They're not even lying to you. You just guys, wait a minute. I never once thought, wait a minute, don't I got to be asleep to be dreaming? Yeah, yes. And if you believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage and no money down, no, a 30-year mortgage with 3.5% down, you are dreaming. Clearly dreaming. I'm like, you gotta, you gotta laugh at that. You have to. And it's funny when you see people, even especially a lot on YouTube, right? I'm not going to be calling channels out because it's just business. It's not my place to be doing that, man. But it's just the way they do you guys, man. It's bad. It's just like bad. It's like obvious. I mean, which is the title of this video. Because I always think back of myself, being in the dad matrix. It's just like obvious. It's like when I was in there, I didn't realize I was being sold something damn near 24 hours a day. The only real time that I got away from advertising maybe was at work. Right? They can't all the other advertisers can't get to you at work because you're at a private business, right? So they can't really get to you. But as soon as you step out that door, you're free game in your car, on your phone, on YouTube video ads, on the internet radio. And then when you get home, you're watching TV and there's commercials non-stop selling to you. And then you got your friends trying to do their side business, calling all their friends to join this. Nonstop. All you guys doing the same thing over and over and over, 24 hours a day, every single day. Exactly. Hope I wasn't on mute that long. I was on mute all that time. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't realize I was on mute. Sorry about that. Yep, I sure was. I hope I wasn't on there long. Apologize because the computer screen's I'm gonna turn it towards me so I can see. Anyway, like I said, I got about 10 minutes left here. 9, 8 minutes. I just want to share that with you guys. Just want to share what sometimes what I think about, which is the obvious a lot that happens. Once you're out of the matrix, you can't really help but think that way, right? You just can't help it. And now when I walk around, it's totally different. I look at everything different. Especially when I hear people talk about money, it's just totally different now, right? And like I said before, what the gift is just the ability to see negative numbers. That's the gift. Millions obviously cannot see negative numbers. They don't know that you cannot build wealth by financing things that go down in value. They don't know that, you know. And if you hear somebody talking about flipping houses, but you find out they're making phone payments or car payments, you need to make sure you reevaluate your financial information, because you don't take advice from people that finance things that go down in value that make no sense. CENTS. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. You guys have a wonderful evening this Friday evening. Sorry for the long mute. I apologize. I'll try to find that time gap so people can actually just skip it over it. All right, until next time. Later.